Good morning, Atlanta communities, and welcome to Wake Up to Broker Up with Mark, episode number 19 for 2023. The Helpful Realtor, part 2. So obviously here at Atlanta Communities, we represent buyers, and most of the time those buyers are going to buy a single-family residential home and occupy it. There's no issues, and everybody lives happily ever after. But here at Atlanta Communities, like other brokerages, we also represent a fair number of buyers who are investors, and they're either investors planning on doing work to a property and then putting it back on the market, or holding it and then later putting it back on the market, or using it as rental property and leasing it going forward. We also work with owners of properties and advise them in any number of ways as helpful realtors, thankfully, and we try to help people out. And here's where that can come into play. Say, for instance, you have somebody that you know who is an owner of a property, and they have a mother-in-law suite that's vacant in their property, and they are wanting to rent that property out. So they talk to you because you're the real estate professional that they know, and you're the person that holds the license, and you're their go-to real estate person because you're the helpful realtor. And so they talk to you about it, and you say, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Why don't you do that? As long as it's not in violation of the HOA, or if you get permission from the HOA, it should be fine. So they go about getting somebody, and they move in an unrelated couple. So in other words, they're not married, and that couple moves in, occupies the property. Here in Cobb County, they would be in violation of zoning. And the reason for that is, in Cobb County, it says that you can only have one family and then one unrelated adult living in the property. So if you had two unrelated adults occupying the mother-in-law suite in the terrace level, they're unrelated and they can't live there. Now, in most cases, it probably doesn't make any difference. Nobody says a word. There's no HOA. Everything's fine. All it takes is one disgruntled neighbor to file a complaint with the county, and code enforcement comes out there and says you're in violation of zoning, and then the next thing you know, the owner is having to go to the county and figure out what they can and can't do after the fact, and after they have a binding lease with somebody living in the mother-in-law suite in the terrace level of the house. I, as the helpful realtor, had no idea that was the case. I didn't really understand any of that until I started helping my family member, and then ran into issues such as these. For instance, in Cobb County, if you have vehicles, you can have too many vehicles for the square footage of the property. All it takes is one disgruntled neighbor to file a complaint, and then the next thing you know, code enforcement is there citing, and then you have to answer it. So the purpose of this is you don't have to be an expert at zoning rules and regulations in the county or municipality where you operate, but you have to make sure that you understand the intended use of the property for the person who's buying it, and then advise them that but they may need to get information from zoning. They may need to check county or city or municipal rules and regulations as it relates to their intended use of the property. Because if it goes wrong, they're going to point the finger potentially at you. That's the issue. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.